Flame on everybody, this is another Dragon Barrows Nerdsville. This video is dedicated, I just finished watching from Hybrid Hero, a fellow YouTuber, and he did a video called Top 5 Endangered Pokemon. And he was saying, he was asking a couple of questions. Like, the last question was, why was Lapras hunted to extinction, or near to extinction? I have several theories on that. Theory number one of the reasons why he suggested was for its shell. I believe that to be one theory, the shell. Let's look at let's just look at what the shell looks like. It looks decorative. You can put it over a, well, it could have been a sign of royal, something distinction of royalty. And with it swimming between island to island or region to region or something along those lines, you see literally a vast amount of culture, like island-based cultures. Let's look at the real life Polynesian or oceanic nations from New Zealand, Fiji, the American state of Hawaii. You can toss in Japan as well, since it's a part of the oceanic region. Also, the native people of Northern Australia, and around the coastlines of south of the western side of the Americas, like with looking from the most northern part being Russia to the most southern part being this most southern point of South America to Australia, New Zealand, with Japan, China, now Taiwan, Laos, and all the Southeast Asian nations, the western coastline nations of the Americas. Just say the Lapras would be swimming in that sort of range, that sort of territory, just swimming along, and those cultures, or those native cultures of all the regions, or the native regions of that we now see in Pokemon, from Kanto to Alola, would have had native people, and having the native people, and in one form or another, the Lapras shell could have been a very high, would have been very high in its status. It would have been very pricey to have a stool, like a log fashioned into something beautiful, maybe with some shoulder shells and some cloister shells, and that just decorating the main throne. On top of that, maybe a couple of 4 massive posts. Then you could just lower the Lapras shell on top of that. bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a throne, a literal Pokemon throne, or Polynesian style of, as I said, Polynesian style throne, which could have been like the decrease in population of early Lapras. All these different areas hunting the Lapras, and you could have had it, or the Lapras could have been, since the Lapras is calm, cool, and collected, it could have been used to appease a pagan god, or something like that, to have the Lapras shell, like, placed onto just behind the altar, like to say, "Oh God of weather, please give us just a Lapras shell," to say, as just the stock standard, "God of weather, please keep our fishermen safe. Please keep our fishermen from getting injured or something like that, from a Gyarados or something like that." But, or from a Sharpedo, or from some other hard-hitting coastal, some sort of hard-hitting, take no nonsense sort of Pokemon that is known for its ferocity and its attacking capabilities. More water based. It could have been used for, like, the shell could have been used for those sort of things. The shell could have been turned upside down for cooking vessels. Like, if you're feeding a huge amount of people, you can easily turn, and as seen in the anime, 3 people can ride that beast, that creature with comfort, or some sort of comfort, only to have, all you have to do is turn it over, scrub it a bit, or maybe not if you're cooking Lapras and you just wanted a fresh bowl. You just turn the thing upside down, throw some fire underneath there, pour it with water, put like the Lapras meat into it, and boil the Lapras for some sort of festival meal. Maybe add some leeks or Farfetch leek, and some tank milk, or some combination of different foods and that you can get from Pokemon. Well, the shell itself could actually be used for a rowing vessel. There's 4 things to do with one item. Religious, like, to prove that the person is royalty. A religious worshipping thing. Cooking utensil. And it could also be used for a seagoing vessel, which say, oh, since the Lapras swim calmly through the waters, how about the shell? It will help us row in the waters calmly and without any problem, and we could be protected from things like the Sharpedo and the Gyarados. That's one theory about the shell. Secondly, it could have been a part of religious rite of paganistic the paganistic Pokemon world. But like in European nations, if you were able to kill a certain animal, you would be able to obtain its power. You'd be able to obtain its abilities. Since Lapras are peaceful, more calm and peaceful, and someone who was a bit angry and frustrated with a lot of things, and they wanted to get a lot more done with being book smart and things like that, the high priest of the particular village would suggest killing a Lapras and eating maybe its heart, maybe eating its brain, maybe eating some portion of it to get some body part or something like that to become more stronger in that sensibility. Even like to kill a Lapras, a a, a stranded on shore-based landlocked one that swam up a flooded river system. It was being like a rare occurrence for some like a village that's far inland to see a Lapras. To kill it was a sign of prosperity. Like, oh, kill this, we'll have these many years of prosperity, we'll have these many years of blessings. Where the head itself could have been mounted in the chieftain's dwellings, or the high priest dwellings, or the temple, as a mark of respect for that particular person or idol. That's even like with them being good swimmers, and more leaning towards the coastal side of the Lapras, or the coastal people who have seen a lot more Lapras than the inland. They could have seen the Lapras as being good swimmers. We want to be good swimmers, so someone will get into in a rowboat, swim out to see some Lapras, kill the Lapras, bring that Lapras to shore, and with an open campfire, we could be like some sort of recipe, like heart of you get the heart and blood of the Lapras, eat it, eat the heart and blood mixture, and you become a very good swimmer. You'll become even in the most strenuous of riptides or something like that. You'll be calm. You'll be able to figure out things of how to get out of this situation. Or roasted Lapras brain could have done the same thing, but it could have given you close water, foreknowledge of the coming weeks, or of weather patterns. The body could have been the stomach. Maybe eating the contents of the stomach would have given you the hunger to go out into the water and to be more calm. All these things could have been more calm related thing, calming sort of thing. Going to the bones and a little bit back to the shell. The bones and shell of the Lapras ground down, mixed together with some some berries or something like that, slept on your body for war paint, could have given you calmer and more collective thinking powers when it comes to going into a naval sort of warfare with an opposing village from an island a couple of kilometers away. Then not even a couple of kilometers away, maybe like a kilometer and a half. You know, the territorial waters. You know, hunting grounds. They're in a war over hunting grounds and that. All the like supposed mystical properties of the animals, and to go back into the more European side of things, in Rome, if you were cut open, you were to be bathed in bull's blood, so the bull's blood goes into your system and becomes strong like the bull, and you have like some sort of written prayer or spell written on, put on your, that you hold onto the board, and you recant or chant out that, or recite what is written on the board. You know, give me strength, give me power, give me wisdom, give me this, give me that, give me the other. O spirit of the Lapras, may I be calm in battle as I fight for the hunting grounds of the Magikarp. Another, and this is my third reason, food. Simple as that, food. Like, just, the Lapras are a big treat, are a big creature. Doing the research, yeah. Its height is 8 foot 2 inches, or 2.5 meters tall. Its weight is 485 pounds, or 220 kilograms. You see something that big, and it's that heavy, it's gotta be filled with a lot of good meat. Like, you can see a cow or a bull. That thing is very long, is quite high off the ground, quite thick, and that animal can produce a decent amount of ribs. It can be butchered in quite a lot of ways. The same thing can be said for the Lapras. Even like water absorb, it could be used to. Actually, that's for another point. And as to read this thing, it says, Lapras is a large sea creature that resembles a plesiosaur. That's another thing altogether. It has a spotted blue hide with cream underside. Its neck is long and it has large black eyes. Their short horn in the middle of its forehead. Its curled ears are placed further back on its head. Instead of legs, it has 4 flippers, with the foremost pair being larger than the hind. On its back is a heavy grey shell covered with blunt knobs. Lapras are gentle, helpful Pokemon that enjoy carrying people across bodies of water. However, this docility has made it an easy target for hunters who have nearly drove it to extinction. An intelligent Pokemon is able to understand human speech and has been known to travel seas in large pods. To keep in touch with its kind. It sings an enchanting melody. In the anime, it has been shown that the Lapras is able to develop psychic abilities such as telepathy. Lapras are natives to the sea. The first paragraph, it virtually is virtually saying there's a lot of meat on this creature. The cheek muscles alone, like the cheeks, could be as fatty as pork. Like, you know, could be like the pork cheek or the bull cheek, having like that delicious, soft, gelatinous thing. The neck could be more leaner meat. Then you got like its main belly part, like the center and all that stuff, which is lending to itself to go, ooh, this is good, this is food, this is delicious. As I may mention, the hunters had used this trusting nature of humans to their own benefit. As I may mention in the earlier points of the hunter wanting to be smart and calm in the face of battle, or the priest wanting to see what's foretelling in the future to the king or queen of a tribe, having the shell over the throne as a sign of power and of approachability to the power strength, even to like the making of the shrine. It could be even the roof of a temple or something along those lines, which goes to the different usages of the animal. Another reason, let's see, we got status, we got religious, we got imparting or embracing powers, And the last one, we just had food. The last one, the reason, my last reason for the Lapras being endangered is it's just simple. Lack of domesticating. The Lapras, it is a wild animal. It is a wild Pokemon. And with with hunters, the hunters, you don't necessarily have to be a hunter that would, you know, use clubs on it or anything like that. It could have used ropes to gag them and try to steer them into shore, and have seats and that fixed to the tops of their bodies, and penning them into different locations, like let's say for instance a rocky crops near a cave. Those sort of people could have used wild ones because they think wild, a lot more. You've seen the bottoms of the bed of the seabeds. The the more experienced Lapras are more in tune with what the weather's going to be like, the way you can hunt properly with the Lapras, and other such reasons to build up that particular style of more intelligent based hunting. They could have captured a number of males and females, started to breed them into more human friendly Lapras, but the domesticating would have taken out the wildness, would have taken out the instinctual traits of said Pokemon. Without that, they would think, without that knowledge of the seas and knowledge to do what to do, know what to do with if a whirlpool came into play, or just underwater volcanic eruptions going off, like they would have felt the pressure and would have swam around it before the funnel, not the funnel, but the spray coming up. On top of that, just the sheer knowledge of actual marine topography or chartography, they know from memory the landscape of under the sea. They know where not to swim towards. They know where to evade certain things and whatnot. And let's see. But yeah, there is there's just so many things that could be thought of as a good reason for the decline in the Lapras population in the Pokemon universe. Number 6 could be because those particular coastal areas thought that the Lapras were being pest to their crops. The Lapras would come in, see some berries growing in that, and if it was like a particularly like a low coastal area instead of on top of a cliff, like the Lapras would just swim up, grab a whole heap of berries along with the bits and pieces of plant matter, rip and eat the berries, the leaves, and the rest of the plant. Other particular reasons could be sport. Like to say, look at me, I've hunted 40 Lapras in one afternoon or one day. As a status, and you can have like the heads of the Lapras on spikes at the front of your village's coastal areas. I mean to say, if you want to fight us, look at what we've done to these Lapras. And these Lapras are kind, loving creatures. If you want to do war against us, you think what we've done to these Lapras are bad, we'll do worse to you. Another reason which could be valid would be the hide. Like Lapras leather could be great for swimming and that, which gets back to the point of body parts. But there could be more reasons than what I could think of at this time. If you can think of any other reason why the Lapras would be near extinction, you can comment below. I'm Dragon Barrows, and talk to you later.